The California Department of Public Health announced last week that the California stay-at-home order has been lifted. The result is that Inyo and Mono counties will return to the purple tier of the state's blueprint for a safer economy. The same status they held before the stay-at-home order was put in place. It still, however, indicates that the risk level in these counties remains widespread. This change will require certain industries to modify their operations in order to remain open. In order to return to the red tier, Inyo and Mono counties' local data must stabilize and consistently reflect positivity and case rates consistent with the red tier thresholds for a 2-week period. It will be essential that we all do our part by continuing to use face coverings, staying at home when ill, practicing physical distancing, avoid gatherings, and mixing with other households. And remember, wash your hands frequently. Ironically, Tuesday's meeting of the Inyo County Board of Supervisors started with the Water Department head, Aaron Steinwand, delivering the grim news that at best, rainfall could hit just 60% of normal. By Wednesday afternoon last week, the Owens Valley sat under a thick blanket of snow, and it came down all day and all night long. On the other hand, this is good news for the future. The balance of the meeting was consumed with COVID, Governor Gavin Newsom's lifting of the stay-at-home order, and a reminder what the purple tier looks like. While the past weekend resulted in an additional 44 COVID cases, Marilyn Mann, Director of Health and Human Services, reported that as of early Tuesday morning, only 5 new cases have been reported. Inyo will be stuck in the most restrictive tier for at least 3 weeks and have a case rate of 1 case a day and a positive test rate of 8% for 2 consecutive weeks to drop to the next less restrictive tier. As of Wednesday, Inyo County recorded 1,058 cases with 29 deaths. Anna Scott, the Deputy Public Health Director, went through the vaccination regime. Inyo and Mono counties are currently working on California's 1B Tier 1 categories, age 65 and older, plus specific industries considered essential without the ability to work remotely. The county still can't schedule vaccine clinics until the supply chain is predictable and consistent. Both southern and northern Inyo hospitals are the vaccine sites, with the Vaughn's pharmacies prepping to administer vaccines as well. In response to a question regarding Mono County residents heading down the Sherman grade to get vaccines in Inyo County, Scott said Inyo County residents who work in Mono County have been getting shots in Mammoth Lakes. It generally balances out, she said. While Scott indicated she didn't see a big increase in vaccine deployment, later Tuesday of last week, President Joe Biden asked for all available vaccines to be immediately distributed in the country. During the public comment portion of the meeting, Josh Nicholson questioned the source of the public health director, Dr. James Richardson's statistics on new strains of COVID and the rate of transmission. Richardson's source was a fairly unimpeachable one, an article in the Harvard Review by an epidemiologist who was a former director for the Center of Disease Control. Over the last few supervisor meetings, Nicholson has maintained the COVID restrictions and masking guidelines are an infringement of his civil rights. We'll be right back with more news.